everyone, this is Teacher Mariami and welcome to the video discussion of our subject Discrete Structures 1. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon to get new video updates. Without further ado, let's get started. Our topic for today's discussion will be about basic counting techniques, the rule of products. So if there is some number of different operations and each operation can be performed in different ways, how many combinations of operations can be performed when the operations are not dependent on one another? This is an important question when trying to determine the number of outcomes for which one must account. So we will answer these following questions as we go on with our topic. When we are young, the first concept that our parents taught us is the art of counting. Laging tinatanong nila sa atin kung ilang taon na ba tayo in order to test our ability to count. At ikaw naman tong masunuring bata, you definitely raise your 3 fingers to indicate that you are 3 years old, right? The question of how many is always present when we are dealing with the art of counting. To be specific, combinatorics is the art of counting that will help us to count the numbers of objects quickly. Instead of counting one by one, we will introduce the concept of combinatorics to make our way of counting simple and easy. In the first example, we have to find how many lunches can you have in a snack bar that serves 5 different sandwiches and 3 different beverages. So, as we observe, we always have the question, how many? So, in order to determine the number of possible lunches, we must list or enumerate all the possibilities. So, in the image, we have a tree diagram. So, tawag dito ay tree diagram. First, we will begin with the position that labeled start. So, magsisimula tayo sa start. And to be followed by the 5 sandwiches. Bologna, ham, cheese, chicken, and beef. And then, to be followed by the 3 different beverages, which is milk, coffee, and tea. So, there we have 15 different lunches that can be ordered. So, ayun. So, sa bulog na we have 3. Bali yung ating beverages is i-distribute natin siya sa ating 5 sandwiches, 5 different sandwiches. So, count lang natin. So, we have bulog na and milk, bulog na and coffee, bulog na and tea. Sa ham, we have ham and milk, ham and coffee, ham and tea. Sa cheese and milk, cheese and coffee, cheese and tea. Then, sa chicken, we have chicken and milk, chicken and coffee, chicken and tea. And sa beef, we have beef and milk, beef and coffee, beef and tea. So, count that. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So, we have 15 different lunches that can be ordered. Another alternative method to solve the problem is by observing. So, we have 5 different choices of sandwiches and 3 different choices for beverages. So, to find the number of lunches that can be ordered, we can simply list the numbers, or which is 5 different choices of sandwiches. Ito siya. and the 3 different choices of beverages. Ito siya. And then, we multiply. So, 5 times 3 is equals to 15, which is, we have 15 different lunches that can be ordered. So, ito yung medyo madaling way para makuha natin yung solution. So, yung first example kanina is medyo hindi siya ganun kadali, tsaka medyo complicated yung ating way. So, what if bigger yung numbers natin? So, mahihirapan tayo. So, etong alternative method of solution is madali lang siya. So, I recommended this one. So, sa inyong activity na ito yung gagamitin ninyong formula or way para masagutan yung activity natin. Next, we have counting elements in a Cartesian product. So, sa examples natin kamakailan, we discussed about Cartesian product. Tama? So, now, what if we have to find yung combinatorics niya? So, let A is equals to A, B, C, D, E. And let set B be equal to 1, 2, and 3. So, we have to determine the different elements in A times B. So, A times B is our symbol for Cartesian product. So, we have the given. Pwede nating isulat muna yung given A, B, C, D, E, and B, 1, 2, 3. So, kung mapapansin natin, sa set A, meron tayong elements na 5. And then, sa set B is 3. So, ayun, multiply lang natin siya. 5 times 3 is equals to 15 different elements in A times B. So, ganun lang siya kadali. Next, we have another problem, which is a TrueFalse Questionnaire. So, a person is to complete a TrueFalse Questionnaire consisting of 10 questions. How many different ways are there to answer the questionnaire? Since each question can be answered in either 2 ways, which is true or false, at meron tayong 10 questions, so there we have 2 times 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 2. Or in short, 2 raised to 10. So, ibig sabihin, 10 times nating i-multiply yung 2 in order to find the different ways of answering the questionnaire, which is 1024. So, all we have to do is analyze muna natin yung problem, observe muna natin yung given numbers, and then, tsaka tayo mag-start na gawin yung solution niya. So, ayun. We also encourage na i-visualize yung kanyang tree diagram, pero wag na natin siyang i-draw. Hindi na natin kailangan siyang i-drawing. Isipin lang natin yung tree diagram niya, tsaka, ayun, we have to come up with the answer or solution. Here we will discuss the rule of products. So, if 2 operations must be performed, and if the first operation can always be performed or indicate as P1, different ways, and the second operation can always be performed P2, different ways, then there are P1 times, yung ibig sabihin ng that is multiplication, times P2, different ways that the 2 operations can be performed. So, just like yung first example natin kanina, which is 5 different sandwiches, and then yung ating P1, and then yung ating P2 is 3 different beverages. So, yung ginawa natin is multiply natin siya kanina, and then we have 15, which is, ayun yung sagot niya, which is 15 different ways para makuha yung ating sagot. So, we have a note here. It is important that P2 does not depend on the option that is chosen in the first operation. Another way of saying this is that P2 is independent of the first operation. If P2 is dependent on the first operation, then the rule of product does not apply. So, dapat yung ating second operation or P2 is hindi siya dependent sa ating first operation. Kasi maapektuhan niya yung ating first operation, and then that is not considered as a rule of product. So, sa next slide, I will explain this furthermore kasi doon meron tayong example about dito. What if we reduce the lunch possibilities? So, assume in example 1, coffee is not served with a beef or chicken sandwiches. So, what if? Then, by inspection of figure 1, which is our tree diagram, we see that there are only 13 different choices for lunch instead of 15. So, the rule of product does not apply here since the choice of beverages depends on one's choice of a sandwich. So, ayun nga. Kasi yung ating second operation or P2, which is our beverages, is nakadepende siya sa ating P1 na sandwiches. So, sabi kanina sa rule, dapat independent yung ating second operation sa first operation para ma-apply natin yung rule ng product. So, yun yung dapat nating tandaan. What if we have a multiple choice questionnaire? So, paano? A questionnaire contains 4 questions that have 2 possible answers and 3 questions that have 5 possible answers. Since the answer to each question is independent of the answers to the other question, so the extended rule of products applies. So, applicable yung ating rule of product. And there are, so, di ba meron tayong 2 possible answers sa ating 4 na question. So, ito yun. 2 times 2 times 2. And then, yung pangalawa, which is 3 questions with 5 possible answers. So, 5 times 5 times 5. Or, pwede rin ganito siya. 2 raised to 4 times 5 raised to 3. And then, we have to multiply muna yung 2 4 times, and then yung 5 3 times. And then, yung answer nito, is i-multiply natin, which will be equal to 2,000 different ways to answer the questionnaire. So, yung pinaka-important lang talaga dito is observe lang talaga natin yung question and then analyze and then proceed tayo sa solution kung ano yung dapat. If there are questions regarding sa ating video discussion as well as the activity na in-upload ko sa ating Google Classroom, don't hesitate to ask. Pwede nyo akong i-PM sa Messenger para pag-usapan natin or explain ko pa sa inyo furthermore yung about sa ating topic for today. So, big thanks to LearnSailor.org course CS202 for our references. That would be all for today's discussion, and God bless and keep safe.